Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Budgeting Brilliance. Today is a money mindset moment, and today we're going to have a real open and honest conversation about debt because it is time that you set it on fire because there is a crisis occurring in our country right now, and it's all built around skyrocketing high prices coupled with high interest rates. And people are struggling on what to do. And unfortunately, far too many people are having to turn to repossessing their vehicles. And this cannot continue any longer because something has to give. And I'd rather it not be you. Stay tuned. So everyone dreams of living a life of abundance. But here's the harsh truth. Having a higher income doesn't guarantee spending wisdom. And your toys may eventually suffocate you financially. Are you there yet? In fact, 8 million people earning over 6 figures are actually living paycheck to paycheck. But it's time we change that for you. Welcome to Budgeting Brilliance, a podcast for busy career-focused moms feeling stuck between mounting credit cards and cars. I'm Shauna Lay, a family budgeting expert specializing in tools that corporate moms can use to change their perspective of budgeting as a necessary evil to being an empowering tool to make smarter decisions. If you've been looking for a budgeting network focused on more than just frugal living, you're in the right place. Stop letting your finances dictate your life. Hey, so recent chats with friends have led me to today's discussion. And unfortunately, I don't see prices or interest rates dropping quickly enough anytime soon. So it is time that we set forth on a movement. It is time that everyone starts to fuel a fire under them and dump debt like it's a hot potato. But I'm not telling you to repossess your vehicles though. Unlike those people, we are going to pick things up a notch. Like a big notch. And here's how I am going to help you get started. So out on my website, insanitysense.com, I am starting the Debt on Fire movement. And I created a pledge that you can download today to vow that it is time for you to set your debt on fire so that you can start to light up your dreams. Also in that packet is a printable of a no-spend challenge and a debt tracker, so you can monitor how quickly your debt-free journey is approaching. And here's why this is so important. Because having debt limits your choices. Having debt holds back your dreams. Having debt prevents you from enjoying life to its fullest. And it's like walking up an escalator that is going downward. Having debt is like living in a storm cloud, casting a dark shadow over your life, creating unnecessary challenges as you try to move through it. And having debt is like carrying a backpack full of rocks, causing you to struggle with each and every step. If you have debt, I know that this is ringing true for you. But here's one that's personal for me about how debt has impacted my family. So the lack of available money causes you to miss out on precious moments. That could be special vacations, family reunions, or other wonderful events. So on my mom's side of the family, they're all in Hawaii. So flashback to 2001, my parents planned a trip to Hawaii. So in full disclosure, I actually haven't been back to Hawaii since we left there when I was about 4. So my husband and I joined them along with one of my brothers, and we had one of the most phenomenal trips of our lives. Visiting 3 of the islands, had experiences that included a family luau, enjoying the day down in Waipio Valley, and if you're not familiar with it, it is one of the most sacred places in Hawaii. We took trips to volcanoes, did lots of hiking, and spent some treasured Kanikapila moments, which is like an impromptu jam session with the family singing and playing ukuleles. Now, my family has a bunch of extremely talented singers. We created beautiful memories during that trip, and it had such a profound impact on our lives that would change our future trajectory. But little did we know that this trip was actually my mom's last trip. Now, she was ill at the time, but my parents didn't share with us exactly how soon things were going to come to an end. That following February, we laid her to rest in a serene cemetery with the rest of our family members on the Big Island. There are views of the ocean in the distance, and it is such a calming, peaceful place. Now, fast forward that, 16 years later, we did the same for my father. So now both of my parents are buried thousands of miles from where I live, and I don't get to visit their graves as often as I would like. And not to mention that my aunties are getting older. My mom had 9 brothers and sisters, and there are only 2 remaining siblings left. And we're also losing touch with our extended family and cousins. So unfortunately, we weren't focused. We spent years unintentionally wasting money. Instead of doing that, we could have been spending that money paying down debt instead of trading it for new debt. We could have been buying investment properties, earning compound interest through mutual funds and stocks, and those investments could have helped to earn us money to get us back there more often. It's so unfortunate, friends, and I truly hope that today's message is finding you in a place where you can receive it. Because things really need to change where we are not having to repo our vehicles or foreclose on our houses. But if you aren't careful, it can sneak up on you. Times are not as secure as we once thought they were, and we need to put things in place to help us, to give us a little bit of a buffer to protect us from that situation. Everyone needs to set a fire under them to bring awareness to the fact that repeat car purchases, continuing to get loans to pay off credit cards and to turn around and run them back up, aren't making you wealthier. Just the opposite. It's weighing you down. Those items that you're purchasing is just a fleeting moment of immediate gratification. And unfortunately, that moment ends far too quickly, unlike the debt that will hang around for years. So starting today, let's commit to join the Debt on Fire movement. And I'm here to walk alongside you in your journey. Together, I'll help you take action, no matter how small you want it to be. Let's start now so that when in 2024 gets here, it's second nature because you have built a routine that's been developed over the last few weeks of this year. And it won't be a short-term resolution that ends up dying out because living life without debt is freeing. Living life without debt allows you to be more generous. It removes barriers and constraints that are holding you back right now. It allows you to relax and breathe again. No more heaviness and burden pressing upon you. I don't know about you, but there are many times in my life where I felt that I just needed to get a break so I could come up for air. Living life without debt is like finally reaching the summit, like we did on our trip to Maui to the top of Haleakala, where we had panoramic views all around us and watching the sunset, and it was a truly magical moment. And when you no longer have debt, the world is your oyster. Now, I know where my paradise is, but I wanted to help you find yours. And if you've listened to last week's podcast on goals, you know that setting a solid quality goal can help you to stay more focused on the future and focus on what matters. So if you haven't done that yet, go back, set your goals before you move forward because it helps to eliminate obstacles that can get in your way. So please set up that plan and then go to my website to download your pledge. Now, there are also other resources on my website on sanitysense.com that can help you to budget properly so you know how much money you have every day of the month. There's also a resource for helping you get rid of this debt that is holding you back. I really want to help you set your debt on fire. Let's kick things up a notch. You can also join the community. And in this community, we can talk together with other women who are on the same journey as you. If you have questions, you have obstacles in your way, or you just need to vent, this is the place where you can do it without any judgment. All right, so on to today's money mantra. Your mantra is this. Say, I will triumph over my debt. And I trust in my ability to apply the strategies necessary to eliminate my debt quickly. Now, what I want you to journal about today, what is debt doing in your life? How is debt showing up in your life, and what is it keeping you from doing? How is it holding you back? Really dig deep and describe your feelings in full detail. Now, friends, being better at budgeting isn't hard. You really just need to be intentional. And this includes reflecting on your mindset and what's controlling your underlying beliefs. So remain focused, continue to move forward, download the Debt on Fire Pledge from my website so I can help you take budgeting to the next level. So that's all for today, friends. If today's message was at all helpful, please consider leaving a 5-star review because it truly helps this podcast to be shared out with others. And I'll see you next week on Budgeting Brilliance. So friends, I hope you found value in today's episode and that it encouraged you in some way to take an action towards focusing on your budget. If you would like to snag some free budgeting resources like a quick starter kit, debt elimination workbook, just head on over to my website, sanitysense.com. That's sanitysense, CENTS.com. And if you like today's episode, please consider leaving a 5-star review so you can help others find this message and get the budgeting help that they've been longing for too. So here's to budgeting your best life. We are going to pick things up a notch. Please don't forget that because it truly helps this podcast